If you find that your makeup never ends up looking seamless and it always ends up just something's not looking right, but your makeup all seems great and it works for everyone else, and usually it works for you if you apply it with your fingers, or sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, it could be your makeup brushes. Makeup brushes are such an overlooked tool when it comes to your makeup because people think it's all about the makeup, it's all about the skin prep, but it does have a lot to do with your brushes too. And there's a reason why you find pro makeup artists such as myself using specific brushes. I'm breaking down the only makeup brushes you're going to need and exactly why. If you're new here, welcome. I know we're in a different setup this week because usually we're in the lounge, but today I wanted to be in the studio because I've got a lot to film. But today, like I was saying, if you are new, my name is Nina. I'm a professional and celebrity makeup artist and beauty educator. I've been doing this for like over 20 years now, and I really like to make my videos very relatable and easy and for real life. So this is a quick video about the best brushes. So let's get right into it. The first one is my, where is it? Here it is. My BK Beauty 106 brush. Absolutely love this. You have seen me use this in nearly every single video, especially on my other channel where I'm constantly doing educational like makeup videos where I'm always putting makeup on, because on this channel I do a lot of informative quickfire videos and some fashion stuff, but over there is where I really put the makeup on. But this brush is something I have been using for a very long time, ever since it came out, and I'm obsessed with it. I actually have extras now because I love it that much. I've got one here and one sitting right over here. I love them. By the way, you can get a discount with this. Use the code Nina10 and that's going to give you a discount off this. So make sure that's on anything from BK Beauty. So this brush is my go-to for liquid and cream foundations. It's a medium density and it's slightly fluffy and it's a round, slightly domed shaped brush. It's got slightly rounded edges, so it's not going to give you that sharp finish if you were to like dab onto your skin. It buffs your foundation in beautifully. It doesn't stamp it on, but also there's a technique before you even get it onto your skin, so I'll explain that. The bristles are soft, but I would say they're quite tightly packed, so it's not so soft where everything just like the brush fully moves. I feel like it's a good kind of density, but not overly dense. It's not too compact. I feel like this gives you a lot of control for your foundation application, but it's not like going to eat up all of your foundation. I feel like what you use, you don't lose most of it on your brush. What I love about this brush is that you can use it on the larger surface areas like here, but because it has rounded edges, it fits in really nicely on the side of the nose, so you can get into all of the other areas. I would always make sure you put your foundation on the back of your hand, you buff this into the foundation, but only a little bit of it, not all of it. Just drag a little bit to the side, buff it into the brush, and then you are going to buff like this all over, and you're going to get the most stunning finish. I would also recommend using a light pressure. Let the brush do the work for you. You don't need to add extra pressure, forcing the brush to go into the skin. The brush is going to do all the work for you, just to keep your pressure light. Next up is the Beauty Blender. This one here, it's got my makeup on it at the moment, but I have been using this again ever since it came out. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I've tried other ones which are, you know, ones that you get online from other makeup brands, and they are just never as good as this. This is amazing. It's technically not a brush, but it is a good applicator, so I had to mention it. It gives you the most seamless airbrushed finish for liquid and cream formulas. I feel like I love the fact that it presses the product into the skin rather than dragging it and swirling it around. When it's damp, it does expand and become double the size. So you can run it under like running water, keep squeezing it for a little while, and then you'll see that it doubles in size. And then you want to squeeze all of the water out twice so you can get the excess out, and then you can use it. Alternatively, what I do a lot recently is I use my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray, and I spray this like that, and that's enough for me, and then I just blend whatever I need to blend in. And I actually love that because I feel like that is this really nice hydration added to it, not just water. I would say it's perfect for anyone who struggles with brush streaks. So if you feel that actually I still feel like I'm getting brush streaks, then use this as your last step. So use your brush because it's quick, because this takes a little bit longer for the whole thing, but use your brush and then go over with this, and this is going to give you the most stunning seamless finish. I would say this isn't just good for the application and that seamless finish, so don't feel like this is an unnecessary product, because I do feel like when you've applied your foundation, it's really important to get rid of any of the product that's sitting in your creases. So it's normal. Everyone has fine lines, right? But obviously when you get into your 40s, like me, they are more obvious. It's inevitable. You can't help it, right? So you want to use the tip of this to really get out any of the products sitting in the creases, and then you set your makeup as usual. So it's handy for a lot of things. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell button because it really does help my channel out. By the way, I get a lot of messages about the jewelry I wear. I just want to add that they are in my description. So hit the link down there. It will be next to earrings, next to necklace, and you can see where I get all of my jewelry from, because honestly, I'm so happy that you guys like this stuff. Like, you can wear this one double-sided, by the way, on the other side too, which is really cool. Everything's listed for you. Next up is my Makeup by Mario Master Pro Puff. Again, not a brush, but it is, oh, it's so necessary in your kit, in your makeup, like within your makeup brushes. It is so necessary. So this is an amazing puff. The other alternative is a Laura Mercier powder puff, but this is great because I like the shape of it. It's not too pointy and it's big enough, you know, it's just right. This is my secret weapon. It's soft, it's a cushiony puff. There's some of the ones that you get are so rubbish, by the way. This is a velour puff. It's the luxury version, and trust me, it's worth it. You know, sometimes you wonder, like, are certain products that are a little bit more expensive worth it? This is 100% worth it. It presses powder into the skin without it looking cakey or heavy. It's especially good for the under eyes if you struggle with your creases staying creaseless. Like, if you struggle with that area staying creaseless, press it in and then dust off the powder with a brush. Absolutely amazing product. Always press, never sweep. Basically what it does is it melts the product, the powder, into the skin. So it's perfect. Next up, number 4 is my Real Technique setting brush. I have had this since the day it came out, honestly. I've got so many of these brushes because I bought a whole load, like in bulk, because I was worried that it's going to discontinue at some point. This one here, you can see the difference, right? This one here, look how faded that is compared to this, because this is my first ever brush when it first came out and it's still going. How good is that? There's no writing left on it now. You can't even see the branding on it anymore. This one, you can still see it. Honestly, the best brush you will ever use. It is such an amazing brush. I can't rave about it enough, honestly. It's so good. It's just perfectly made for that under eye area. Like, look how well that sits on the under eye area. And it's not just about the shape. It's about the softness of the bristles, how many bristles there are there, like how soft it is, how rounded it is, how perfectly rounded it is on the edges, where there's no harsh finish to the brush, but it's also just the right kind of density as well. It's not too dense, it's not too fluffy. So yeah, perfect brush for dusting away powder from your under eyes or pressing it in. It's perfect for applying powder anywhere you need it, like the under eyes or around the nose, like anywhere, like those kind of smaller areas. I feel like the size kind of gives you control, so you're not dumping powder in like random areas all over your face. And like I said, the bristles are soft enough so that they don't disturb your concealer or foundation underneath. Because there are some brushes that there's just so much kind of thickness to the, or harshness to the edge of the bristle that it ends up disturbing your concealer and foundation underneath. By the way, have you headed over to my online magazine, thebeautybreakfastclub.com? Because if you haven't, you need to, because it's basically a magazine like Grazia, Cosmo, Vogue, any of those. Like, it literally, everything is written by me. If you go on, check that out online and you type in thebeautybreakfastclub.com, you're going to come across a really like high quality magazine, if I say so myself. So yeah, I created that whole site. Like, I've done everything on there. This is not something I've got someone else to do. Everything is done by me. And I would love you to head on over and check it out. It's free to subscribe. You get access to some of the newsletters because there's a new newsletter every other day. It's been going for 2 years now. We've got over 6,000 like subscribers on it. If you go for the paid version, which by the way only costs you the same as getting yourself 1 coffee a month, that is going to give you access to the whole site, unlock everything, give you way more than just a coffee a month, and you get to join the group chat. That's where I'm included in that group chat, so we get to actually talk. So it'll be fun and I can answer your questions. So yeah, please head on over and show your love. Next up is the Hourglass Veil Brush. Again, a brush I absolutely love. I don't just pull these brushes out of thin air, by the way. If you have watched my videos for long enough, then you know that you've seen me use these religiously. This brush is amazing because there's not many dual brushes, like dual-ended brushes, where you end up using both sides the same amount. So let me just explain this. The larger side here is great for dusting on loose powder or dusting it off, right? If you're using a puff to press it in, and then you can dust it off with this. The smaller side is amazing for sculpting your cheekbones. It's like the perfect shape for your cheekbones. Look at that. I love this, just for applying bronzer all over. So you can use both sides very easily. By the way, Hourglass have some of the best quality makeup brushes ever. If I had to pick one brand that had the best quality and that is worth the money, considering it's a luxury brand, I'd say it's Hourglass. So yeah, just a little FYI there for you. Next up is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Complexion Brush. I have two of these. I have actually quite a few of them. I have one that I keep aside for using on light concealer, so concealer that's close to my skin color or brighter. And then I have one that I keep aside for use on contouring, so darker shades, because I don't want to mix the two. Again, another dual-sided brush. Amazing, because you use both sides of it, but very different to the other dual-sided brush I showed you. This is a lot more compact, no round edges, so it's very flat on either side, but one is slanted and it's much smaller. So the larger side is great for cream contour, bronzer. I wouldn't personally recommend it for foundation because I feel like it's too much of a harsh flat edge, so you're going to get too much of a compact finish. But I would say for cream or liquid bronzer or cream or liquid contour, it's amazing. So I use this to buff in my contour right there, and it works perfectly. I flip it over and I use the small side for nose contour. Or when I'm lifting highlighter, like as in a light concealer on the edges here, where I usually apply an upward stroke just to give me more of a lift, I use that there. So it's a very good brush, which is perfect if you do contour and you do sculpt with your concealers. I would always recommend pressing it. Don't drag it. I would not drag any brush unless you're working on top of powder and you're using something to apply, like a powder bronzer or something. Next up, we have my Hourglass 15 brush. This is an absolutely amazing brush. And let me explain why. I use this brush for my cream blushes. This is a very kind of slanted brush. It's quite fluffy. It's slightly rounded on the edges, and it has short and long bristles. So that's more of a stipple brush. So you'll find that it's not overly dense. So it's quite like there's space between the bristles. And because of that, you get a really nice airbrush finish on the skin. Now I use this to apply my cream and liquid blushes right on my higher cheekbones, right there. And it works really well. I would say this is also a really good brush to apply foundation if you want. So if you feel like the BK Beauty brush is a little bit too big for you and you prefer a smaller brush, this might be a good option for you. Like I said, Hourglass brushes are absolutely amazing. So the quality is impeccable. Like, you're not going to get any hair that comes out. Unfortunately, there are some brands where the hairs come out and I don't like those, and some of them are very well-known brands, but Hourglass and any of them, like the brands that I've shared with you today, it doesn't happen with that. What I will say is the Charlotte Tilbury brushes, the fluffy brushes, the hairs come out. I'm going to be honest with you. With this Hollywood Complexion brush, I find it doesn't come out. So with the fluffy brushes from Charlotte Tilbury, they do, which is a shame. But in any of the other brushes, none of the hairs come out. I just want to keep it real with you guys. So let me go through some tips with you. Clean your brushes regularly. Dirty brushes equals streaky makeup, which then equals breakouts. So you might not realize it because it takes time for that bacteria to kind of harvest, but over time you're going to end up in breakouts, and you'll probably think it's something you put on your skin yesterday when in fact it was something that you used on your skin last week, which was your dirty makeup brushes. So just be cautious of these things and make sure you do clean your brushes properly. Make sure you think about your pressure control, because sometimes we put so much pressure into using our brushes that we don't allow the brush to really get to work and do what it's there for. The lighter your pressure is, the more seamless your finish and your blending is going to be. Remember your product pairing. So remember what type of brushes go with what type of formulas. Dense brushes go very well with creamy or liquid formulas. Fluffy brushes are always better for powders. I share stuff like this in my newsletter, by the way, thebeautybreakfastclub.com. So head on over and subscribe to that. I really do hope you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully this has helped you to understand that you actually can get away with fewer tools. Now, if you are looking into other kind of products that you want to know about, then please let me know in the comments. Don't forget, everything's listed below. I'm super excited about the next video, so I'll see you then.